Thank you very much for giving me your time. I'm going to present about 6 autonomous AI agents that we can deploy inside HubSpot. Uh, I have my main objective is to communicate and convey the new possibilities. And these examples that I'm going to share will be some of those possibilities. And if you have a database of contacts inside your HubSpot, typically we say if you have 10,000 plus contacts in your CRM, I think you would love this presentation with the way we are tackling challenges of leveraging AI agents, large language models for processing large number of contacts and how we can understand our customers, reason about them, maybe possibly take some actions and write to them. So I'm going to share more on that. And I would kind of maybe I start an overview and give another minute or two to people to join. Personalize, we are a platform that, as the name shows, is we are focusing on personalization. And when it comes to personalization and leveraging large language models and AI agents, we have a massive opportunity for the first time in history, to understand customers by the power of AI agents, and then leverage that to write to them, leverage that to take possible some actions, do some make decisions for them, and the goal is we want to delight our customers. And doing personalization, we focus on boosting our revenue, delighting our customers. And I think that will be the future. That will be the future. We know it is happening, but we are early days of that, and it comes with a lot of challenges of that I'm going to talk maybe briefly today, but we are tackling those challenges essentially. So with that in mind, what time is it? I think I'm going to start a bit now, and then again we can continue it as people are joining. Um, I'm going to start with a bigger picture. So I assume that a lot of you guys are acting and more in leadership roles, and you appreciate the bigger picture and that might also give you some insights for your strategy. There is a kind of a concept of emergent intelligence. There should be emergent intelligence or emergence, and the idea is we have players in a system that we have a collective a group of a smaller tiny players, agents, and they demonstrate a simple intelligence. But the thing is, when they start interacting, sometimes in a random way, even without knowing that they're working together, we start seeing some type of intelligence that is not planned, that is we cannot even engineer that, but it is the system start delivering that. And the beauty is even where we are today with language models and AI, and then now we have AI agents. Another layer opportunity is when we let them these AI agents to work in a system, we start to see more emergent behaviors. This is our perspective. This is the philosophy we're following. And in a customer world, customer data basis, we have data comes originally from the CRM. When we have full name or company name, it might trigger some agents to, some of these agents have access to the public data, they have access with other system, they will go and research and analyze that person, that analyze that company, and without knowing, and they just return back the data to the same shared table. And other agents take over, possibly prepare some pitch presentation or find the most relevant use case. And as you see, we can generate emails, landing page in a call script. But when we get to generating an email or landing page, it is essentially a complex task. And if you rush it and just have one LLM and just pass the raw data to it, it will do just, it's always right, but the depths of reasoning, the relevancy, the quality will compromise. And by breaking down into smaller, tiny agents and let them work independently, we have the opportunity to write emails that we couldn't plan for if we do it all together in one step. So I hope I like this kind of a bit of qualitative visionary idea we have about multi-agent systems. With that, I'm going to talk about HubSpot. Within the HubSpot context, I'm going to talk about a few examples of AI agents, and I would add another word before that, which is the autonomous. Why this is important? Because when we have a database of customers, let's say even more than 100, if we don't have any human capacity to just even monitor AI, how it is going to process them. So we need to deal with a system that has no human in the loop. Therefore, we need to handle errors. We need to make sure the quality is getting the where we want. The consistency should be there. So if we have a good result and we know it's good, we need to make sure that it will happen again and again for thousands of records in the same way. And the numbers are to the limits that we have, and we're going to increase it. But I like to put it there, but to give you like just think about your own database you have inside HubSpot, and then you imagine that every day there are tiny agents doing some actions on your contacts. Some of them are researching them, analyzing them, qualify them based on a number of criteria, match them to a specific ICP, potentially some do some reasoning or some other thing that they might do, and there might be some unstructured data like you call the transcripts, and they translate it into tasks or whatever. And imagine that one side. The other thing is we can process once we nail everything, and like there are some things happening based on internal triggers or things that happen every day with our contacts, but at the same time we inherit hundreds of thousands of contacts in our CRM, and we need to figure a way to go back to them, see if they are still the right people to talk to, or do they like qualify them and figure a way to research them and write to them. And essentially, we put $1,000 contacts per run, but there's a run is the internal term. But the idea is you might be able, again, you are able, but we might have some limits at the moment, that you process hundreds of thousands of contacts, a couple of clicks, and whatever you want to do, and those agents, they need to do it, force them to do it within a short period of time. Therefore, you have a lot of layers of value added to your CRM, and you enrich your data, not based on just email validation or a website URL. Actually, those customers, tag them and label them. So I'm going to talk about different agentic solutions, or I'm referring to them agent, but essentially behind every one of them, there are multiple agents. So the terminology is a bit hard for me to figure, but so there are agentic solutions, or let's think about them as a mega agent that consists of smaller agents, go back to the bees and acting like as a collective types of intelligence. And there are examples, and I chose to go a bit towards like a form submission, which is a interesting example, and also has overlap with other ones. But again, my goal is to pass some insights, and I know that you will take it and come up with your own unique way of seeing possibilities. But the form submission is interesting because if we do SEO and we do some organic traffic and boost that, and people come to our website, they go to the contact us and submit a get a quote. There might be a lot of activities that they can do, download the white paper, or even clicking an ad, paid ad. They end up to a specific form. They need to provide some data points and then submit that form. So essentially, there are overlaps here, and the other ones I'm going to talk about them a bit later in the presentation. Before I go further, the team asked me to put this in a couple of places in the presentation. The idea is I work with a lot of leaders, and what I'm learning is people need to test things and build that trust into AI and about seeing possibility. Maybe it's not a perfect experimentation. It should be maybe a simplified one. But the idea is we want to make sure that we pass that information. And we came up with this idea of a 10% of your CRM. We put a cap, of course. And the idea is we want to make sure that we give you a document, so there's no, like, you don't even need to interact with us. If you can give it some try, we give you some instructions, so you can just play with some of these agents and start seeing possibilities. And that would be your creativity to come up with the best solution, but you have a lot of ideas to also share. So that's my pitch for that one. And with that, I'm going to talk about how we do it. There is a bit of talking about our product. My hope is even you are not interested in hearing a sales pitch or something, but I'm not going to do that. My goal is give you some big picture understanding and possibilities, and you take it wherever you want. And so please follow me through this presentation of some of the details that I'm going through the software, but always there is a high level of value of you knowing those possibilities. We have part one, which is we need to build it and test it. Why? You remember that once it's autonomous, there's no human in the loop after it is published and it's on autopilot. We need to trust it. So when we are building it, we need to do a bit of testing our own unique data sets and make sure that we are happy with everything. Because once it goes through inside the HubSpot and through in a workflow, it is going to work on autopilot. We might not touch it for months, or we can always improve it, of course. But the idea is that transition require a process. So I'm going to explain that. I'm going to talk about some steps we would take. Number 1 to 6, I'm going to show it to you in the next. And essentially, these are just some steps you follow. But there is also a best practice I'm going to share with you as well. So if you are in Personalize, one of the things we do, we connect HubSpot, and essentially you need to connect your HubSpot. And what it does is it allows us to sync in some data points about those customers. We don't sync everything. We don't touch anything until you tell us what a specific list, give us a specific variable. We don't want to know about other things that you know about those customers. Exactly what you need to know. You select them. You say, okay, I want to know first name, company name, company URL, and title. This list has a 13, so it's good for testing. And then we want to write an email to them. In this example is, okay, when someone submits a form, go and research them, look at their company name. So this agent needs a company name and URL. Go and research this company. And as you remember that at the beginning, those tables I showed you, this researcher is going to research and return the result back to the same table. So that asset will stay inside that. And so the other agent, which is an email writer, when it comes to write the email, it will leverage that the research happened in the by agent one, this in the same table. And let me stop here. So the second agent for writing email, it has asked for some variables about your business. Okay, who's the sender, the title, the name of your company? Tell me about the lead. These are coming from your CRM. Just a couple of variables: first name, title, company name, and research from the previous agents. The agent has all the information that you need to share from your HubSpot. There are 3 variables. I'm going to talk about them that we need to optimize. Let me talk about later. But the idea is kind of you focus on your pitch. How do you want to talk about these people who submitted this form? And what kind of examples. This is how I would do it manually, and I want to do it automatically through this agentic system. And then you choose OpenAI, and we are adding other agents as well, but we stick to OpenAI for public access, but we have Llama, Cloud, things that will be added to public access as well. So as you see, we sync back the result to HubSpot. And let's go back to the big picture. So I do my homework. So the high level is I bring some contacts inside. I typically don't say to do a 13. I would say overdo 1 or 2 contacts, just 1 even. Just sync there, sync back, see the result. If you're happy, you might do another iteration to just get to where you are confident. Once you are happy with the whole process, the pitch is right, the value is right, the source is right, you publish it. What that publishing means is there is an ID that you can use through API with a few lines of code. You can actually process that information of customer and write to them anywhere you want. And also when you do that, you are going to show you that it will be exposed and publicly available inside your HubSpot workflow. So you don't someone, let's say even could be an employee, like employee number 1, employee number 2. One, perfect, that get approval from everyone. And then the second one, just deploy it inside HubSpot. They don't need to do the same person, but the idea is the second person just know this is responsible to get these contacts information and automate some steps for them. So let's get there. So best practices. And when we're experimenting, it's like we love these things. So how simple I can just put things together. But a lot of time when it comes to like, okay, we want to go live, always start with the sample data. If needed, export it from HubSpot, upload the CSV, or what I show you, sync in a couple of rows, a couple of records, process them just 1, then 10, then 100. Get that confidence. And we have a lot of ways that we are protecting you. So we are almost getting to the 0 error right away. But the idea is if you need to, we have the different. I'm going to show it to you so that we can have a lot of ways to control that. So therefore, you get that confidence soon. But the idea is we want to make sure that you have that confidence, and that's a bit subjective. So do it iterative, start small, get it to some level of scalability, and then put it on autopilot. Pre-built agents. So we did a lot of, we are building agents that we already tested with other clients. We tested ourselves. So it's like it is a certified, but it still might be something that might be wrong or not perfect for your business. We will take care of that. But the idea is you don't need to start from scratch. You don't need to know even prompting. But if you have someone in your team who master prompt engineering, you still have control. You can go even deeper. So the idea is we are kind of, it's like hiring an employee. You are spending a few hours or a few minutes here and there, and at the end of the day, you deploy an agent that will be full-time 24/7 working for you. So it's worth spending some time to perfect that. So once we get here, we are done with personalized side, and now we are ready to go to HubSpot. Before I go there, let me see if there is any question, anything's here or not. Something's happening in my place. Let me see. Okay, everything looks good. So let's go and go to the HubSpot. So going to HubSpot, what I'm going to present, it's more HubSpot Professional and Enterprise. And unfortunately, some of the features I'm going to talk now, You can do a still batch sync and process inside Personalize and sync it back even for free. But these are things that the autopilot, that those triggers, everything will happen through a professional and enterprise level. So let's consider that. But hopefully you see the possibility here. So first of all, we need to set a trigger. For this example, we choose a specific form. Once people submit a form, so we are going to process them. One thing to consider is you can have add interaction, people page views, like the first and last page, number of open of the emails. You can have the variety of ways of triggering a workflow. Once you do that, for the first time, you have to connect Personalize, and then you just execute what you already discussed and tested in the other side. And once to do so, you just map the 4 variables you shared even in the beginning: the company name, the website URL, first name and title, and you're done. And once you do that, essentially, you don't need to do anything else. You already know where that information, the mapping at the end, the destination, you already know where the information goes. You have a good plan for it. You just need to make sure this agent is connected in the right way of triggering it, and it just get the information it needs, process it, and just do it for you. So let's say if you have 100 forms submitted every day, it's kind of with the autopilot. What I'm going to show you, it will be on autopilot. There are different ways. I'm going to there are nuances of how to use sequences inside HubSpot, and also the marketing emails and campaigns because of the HTML and some limitations here and there. But I chose to show you the sequences. This looks much better than any other ones. And the other thing is you can put it on automated email, or you can make it a manual email, become a task for a salesperson with email based on research and drafted for a salesperson to take over. You can even write a LinkedIn message, a text message, a voice message to say if the person doesn't answer, even the call script, the playbook for salespeople. So we see a lot of interesting use cases that's happening. And so the email is the most straightforward that you can use. But once you also open that, and there's an automate section. So you say, okay, anytime someone fill this form, enroll that contact here. But this way, for the sequences, you must add delay. Depending on the sophistication that you have multiple agents, they need to spend some time, they work together. It's like O1 from OpenAI. And what I mean by that, it might take 1 minute, 2 minutes to just do everything, like research, Google, look at the script, the first 5 results, read them, understand them, write the result back, and then send it to another agent to write it, and so on and so forth. So delay is the key. Even my 1 or 2 minutes would be enough, but since we are dealing with a lot of async things that might happen in the background, I would say put it at 15 minutes, half an hour. But if you say, no, Hamid, I want to just act fast on that, I would say use the trigger and workflows and trigger it within seconds, or right away enroll them to a specific workflow. And how it works is you don't trigger based on what I showed you. You trigger based on when the email is synced to a specific field. Once the field is known, you just trigger a sequence or send a marketing email. I'm going to talk about that a bit more later. This is the example. Someone comes to a form on the website and fill out the form. And I chose a colleague's company. It's a sustainability related company, and they submit the email. It takes a few seconds, and I think a few minutes, I will believe, and the email will receive by the it's from me going to that person, saying that this is the website, this is the company doing the sustainability related services, saying that after you filled out our form, our AI immediately research SPG, tailored our pitch to your unique needs, and so on and so forth. Your ICPs, property manager, industrial facility operators, and also show off with some kind of preparation of some tiny proposal, which is, hey, if you have type ICPs like this, they typically want to fill out the form. You want to engage them right away. And so that's one pitch. The other thing is typically people might ask, okay, how are you doing this energy audits to reduce their operational costs? And maybe what's the ROI for implementing LED lighting upgrades? And once people ask those questions, what I showed you, you can deploy it for your business and get that for your business as well. The other one is lead qualification data points. And in that example, it's kind of, okay, some people, you want to know the size of their facility, the energy consumption they have, maybe sustainability goal. Some of that information we need to explicitly ask the form, so you can process the form data. You can also research them. Honestly, it's a very interesting email, and there's some kind of pitch at the end of that as well. But let me go back to the slide. This one. This one, you remember, this is just one variable. There's nothing here. And even you can make the subject a variable, dynamic variable, but there's the one variable coming from Personalize, and it has all the details. It's clean, it's ready to go. And it can be synced to any other automation platform as well, but now we're talking about HubSpot. Go back and 10% of your CRM. If you are thinking, evaluating that, just contact someone in our team or myself. If you're connected, just message me or connect on LinkedIn. Well, the idea is I understand leaders need to trust things, and so we hope to kind of help you to navigate that. We give you some documents. You don't need to even. You can try things. You can watch some videos. You can interact with it. We just want to enable you. So so just go ahead and contact us. A couple of things. A lot of things that we do still we are not sharing that much, but the things kind of one of the things you hear there are some email writers. We are not email writers, but they kind of we write emails, but we're talking about personalization. We do a lot of personalizing landing pages, building landing pages, writing proposals, and the email. Even within email that we have alternatives. I want to ask you to check if you have control and the type of researcher you can use. So you might want to research for a manufacturing, a specific type of manufacturing questions you have. It's a list of custom questions. You typically go and look at it. The example I showed you, do they have sustainability program? How many types of properties do they are managing under that property management company? So you need to ask specific questions. And a lot of this system, first of all, you need to write a prompt, and we have a lot of ways to you don't do that, and we also optimize them. So once the more we do it, it's like you have a lot of control. So the idea is you might even try a couple of researchers items. At the moment we have few of them publicly available. You can test them, see which one click with your way of looking at the company website as an expert, and then you use it for writing emails. In writing emails, again, this is another thing that happened for me. Like people say, okay, I like it, write an email for me, and I want to see how it writes it. The thing is, we have a lot of best practices we can show you. And again, email is one of the many possibilities. But interestingly, it's the way you optimize it is first researcher. You need to understand that customer in a right way and in a deep way, and then it's your pitch. How you are going to talk to them. What kind of examples you know it works. If you don't know how you are talking to your customer and it worked before, we can't magically know that. But if you don't know it, we can outperform or get as close or maybe do the same level of quality for every individual. The thing is, if the business knows how they're talking to customer and they already tested it and they have some best practices, we need to use it. And there are things that they know it caused them losing some opportunities, or some people hate that type of wording thing in their emails. We have to know it. Actually, this agent needs to know it. And then essentially that's the secret. It's like not prompting. There is nothing. It's about your domain expertise. And one of the things we do is like if we detach you from doing anything related to prompting, you just focus on what you understand, but we need you to optimize them. I mentioned before, campaigns, emails, and sequencing. It comes with some nuances. If you want to get to testing these things, definitely talk to us. We might need some HTML in a way that HubSpot understands. We already took care of different scenarios, but rule of thumb, the sequences or sales emails, this HTML work perfectly. But if you're going to use marketing emails, let's say you are re-engaging your customers every quarter for a different Black Friday or end of the year event or Thanksgiving. So what you want to engage them, and it's marketing kind of sequence, but you want to use personalization in it. You can generate the whole thing, but the recommendation we have is design a beautiful layout inside HubSpot. HubSpot has a lot of control for A/B testing, different elements, the call to action, and focus on one paragraph and don't use any HTML in it, and just put it inside the beautifully designed template you have, and then send it to hundreds of thousands of people who are in your inbound list is. And so for that, there are some nuances. If you got to that point, of course, I would invite you to just talk to us. We want to protect you on that. And and the other thing is there are a lot of opportunities to add layers of sophistication. So that's one of the things that I want to mention. Like if you hear, you see, okay, I find this lead, I want to write to them. Okay, do you know they're qualified or not? What kind of ICP they represent? Okay, we need another agent. Just that one simple task. I don't want my researcher also do understand my business and qualify them. I separate them into steps and perfect every one of these agents to do that 100% always right and with accuracy. And then once I know this is the right qualified account and it's an ICP matchmaker, a lot of time we are separating that, but this is the one I use myself and I merge them together. So, but essentially you can have a qualifier separately and ICP matchmaker even come after researcher, and writing email, and always a self-corrector and QA quality assurance kind of agent at the end. Even it's like you're happy, you know everything is good, but there's no harm of quickly checking everything, because again, depending on the case, sometimes it doesn't matter, but kind of you already know this. It's not a sophisticated thing that you already know. The email is always good, but if you're writing a half of a proposal, you can't trust kind of, you have to always make sure, because it's, at the end of the day, it's a very sophisticated type of content. And thank you for watching.